You're standing in the dairy aisle. You reach for the butter. Maybe you've bought the same brand for years. It says butter on the front. It looks like butter. You assume it is butter, but some of the best-selling products in that chiller aren't butter at all. They're ultra-processed spreads with emulsifiers, artificial flavorings, colors, and ingredients that have no business being in a dairy product. And even some of the ones that are real butter have been quietly shrinking while the price keeps climbing. Blocks cut from 250 grams to 200 grams. No announcement, just less in the wrapper. I investigated 10 of the most popular UK butter brands. These are the results before we start the test that matters. Real butter has 2 ingredients, cream and sometimes salt. That's it. If your butter has more than that, colors, emulsifiers, flavorings, vegetable oils, preservatives, you need to know what you're actually buying. Because UK labeling rules allow manufacturers to call a product a butter blend or a spreadable while filling it with rapeseed oil, added coloring and industrial additives. And the word butter on the front of a tub tells you almost nothing about what's inside it. Let's go through them. Number 10. Flora Original. Flora has been sold in Britain since the 1960s. For decades it was marketed as the healthy alternative to butter. Lower in saturated fat, better for your heart. That message worked. Millions of households switched. But here's what's actually in the tub. Plant oils, rapeseed, sunflower, water, coconut fat, salt, plant-based emulsifier, faba bean preparation, natural flavorings, added vitamin A. Every food classification system that assesses ultra-processing rates Flora as ultra-processed. And here's the history that's worth knowing. Flora originally contained palm oil, then it removed palm oil and went fully vegan in 2017. Then it quietly added buttermilk back in 2020. Then it removed it again and went vegan again. The recipe has changed more times than most people realize. The ingredient list reads like a chemistry lesson, and the Heart Health claims that drove a generation to switch from butter. The science behind them has been fundamentally revised. The saturated fat hypothesis that butter causes heart disease is now far more contested than it was when Flora launched. So, what exactly was the trade worth? Number 9. Clover. Clover is one of the UK's most beloved spreads. Soft, spreadable, straight from the fridge. The tub has been in British kitchens since 1983. But Clover is not butter. The ingredients include vegetable fat, buttermilk, and water, plus natural flavoring and color. That coloring, carotenes, is there because without it, the product would be a distinctly unappetizing shade of pale. Natural fats from real buttercream are yellow because of beta-carotene, the cows absorb from grass. In Clover, that color has to be added back artificially because the natural source isn't there. Clover is owned by Saputo, the Canadian dairy giant that also owns Country Life, Utterly Butterly, and Cathedral City. It's ultra-processed, and like many products in this category, it was built on a positioning, the taste of butter, easier to spread, that has always been more marketing than manufacturing honesty. Number 8. Utterly Butterly. The name tells you everything about the strategy, not butter, but sounds like butter. Feels like butter when you spread it. Tastes almost like butter, but Utterly Butterly contains vegetable oils, water, buttermilk, salt, natural flavoring, and color. It's ultra-processed, and it sits at the cheaper end of the market specifically because the ingredients are cheaper than cream. You're paying for the brand concept, not for quality dairy fat. What makes it worth naming separately from Clover, also owned by Saputo, is the particularly misleading name. Utterly Butterly is utterly not butter, and the name is doing a lot of work to stop you noticing. Number 7. I can't believe it's not butter. The clue is in the name. You can't believe it's not butter, because it isn't. Vegetable oils, water, salt, emulsifier, flavorings, color. This one is owned by KKR, the American private equity firm, via a company called Upfield, which also owns Flora, Stork, and Bertolli. It's ultra-processed. It contains no dairy at all in the standard version, and yet it has been sitting in UK supermarket chillers for decades, marketed with enough dairy-adjacent language and packaging to leave most shoppers assuming it's a butter product. It is not. It never has been. The name was the admission. Most people just didn't take it literally. Number 6. Anchor Spreadable. Here's where the story gets more complicated. Anchor Block butter is a simple, honest product. Cream, salt, nothing else. Not ultra-processed. Worth buying. But the Anchor Spreadable, the tub version, is a fundamentally different product. Ingredients: Anchor butter at 50%, rapeseed oil at 29%, water, salt, and color, beta-carotene. There are two problems here. First, the color. If you're blending real butter with rapeseed oil, why does the color need to be added back? Because the rapeseed oil dilutes the natural color of the butter fat, so they add beta-carotene to make it look like butter again. Second, you're paying Anchor butter prices for a product that is 29% rapeseed oil and water. The block and the tub share a brand name. They are not the same product. Reading the label is the only way to know which one you're holding. Number 5. Lurpak Slightly Salted Block. Lurpak is the UK's best-selling butter brand, and the block, particularly the slightly salted version, is a genuinely good product. Ingredients: butter, lactic culture, salt. Minimum 80% fat. That's it. The lactic culture is what gives Lurpak its distinctive mild tang. It's a Danish-style cultured butter, made by fermenting the cream slightly before churning. This is not processing. This is traditional butter making, not ultra-processed. Clean label, honest product. So why is it at number 5 and not higher? Two reasons. First, shrinkflation. In 2023, Arla cut Lurpak blocks from 250 grams to 200 grams. Same packaging impression, less butter inside. EU wholesale butter prices rose 18.5% between 2023 and 2024. The price went up, the weight came down. Second, Bovaer. In late 2024, Arla began trialling a feed additive called Bovaer on UK farms supplying their dairy. Bovaer is a synthetic compound designed to reduce methane emissions from cows. It's been approved by the FSA and EFSA. The scientific consensus is that it carries minimal safety risks, but Arla didn't proactively communicate the trial to consumers. They were selling butter from cows given a synthetic feed additive without mentioning it on the label. Whether you think Bovaer is a concern or not, the transparency issue is real. Lurpak block is good butter, but you deserve to know exactly what you're buying. Number 4. Country Life British Butter. Country Life is a straightforward, honest British butter. Ingredients: cream from milk, salt, made from British cream, not ultra-processed. It's produced by Saputo, the same company behind Clover, Utterly Butterly, and various ultra-processed spreads. But the Country Life block butter is the real thing. The issue here is also shrinkflation. In March 2025, Saputo cut Country Life blocks from 250 grams to 200 grams, the same playbook as Lurpak. Volumes dropped 20.6% before the cut. The company says the smaller format has helped recovery. It's real butter. The sourcing is British. The ingredients list is clean. But if you bought this 2 years ago and feel like you're getting less, you are. Buy 50 grams. For the same or higher price. Number 3. Kerrygold Salted Block. This is where the list properly turns. Kerrygold is Irish butter from grass-fed cows. That last part matters more than it might sound. Grass-fed dairy produces milk with a notably different fat profile to grain-fed dairy, higher in conjugated linoleic acid and omega-3 fatty acids, and the natural deep yellow color from the beta-carotene the cows absorb directly from the pasture. When you see Kerrygold's distinctive rich yellow color, that's real, no added coloring. Ingredients: butter, milk, salt. Minimum 80% fat, non-ultra processed. Kerrygold is owned by Ornua, an Irish dairy cooperative, meaning Irish farmers have a stake in the brand they supply. That structure creates different incentives from investor-owned corporations, and the results are in the market. Kerrygold was one of the only major butter brands in growth in 2024 and 2025. Volumes up nearly 30% in 1 year. At a time when most competitors were struggling, that growth happened without a race to the bottom on ingredients, which suggests the market rewards honesty. Number 2. Lurpak Unsalted Block. The unsalted Lurpak earns a slightly different mention from the salted. Same clean ingredients, butter, lactic culture, same cultured Danish-style production, same 80% minimum fat content. But unsalted butter has a specific advantage worth knowing. Salt is a preservative. Unsalted butter spoils faster, which means manufacturers have less incentive to cut corners on quality. Freshness matters more, and it shows in the product. For baking, cooking, and any application where you want to control your own salt levels, the unsalted block is the professional's choice. The shrinkflation issue applies equally here, but on ingredient quality alone, this is one of the purest, most reliable butters on any UK supermarket shelf. Number 1. Kerrygold Unsalted Block, the cleanest entry on this entire list. Butter. That's the ingredient list in full. Grass-fed Irish cows. Cooperative ownership. No added cultures. No salt. No additives of any kind. This is butter in its most elemental form. And here's why it matters for more than just principle. When butter contains only churned cream, the taste is entirely determined by what the cows ate, how the cream was handled, and how the churning was done. There is nowhere to hide a quality problem. The product reveals everything about the supply chain behind it. Kerrygold Unsalted passes that test. Consistently, year on year, in blind taste tests across multiple publications. It is more expensive than supermarket own brand. It is worth the difference. The 3 that are safe after 10 brands, 3 stand clearly above the rest. Kerrygold Unsalted Block grass-fed, cooperative owned, 1 ingredient. Lurpak Unsalted Block, cultured, clean, consistent, 2 ingredients. Kerrygold Salted Block, same sourcing as number 1 with salt. What all 3 share: no vegetable oils, no emulsifiers, no added color, just cream churned. The uncomfortable truth: here's what this list actually shows. The dairy aisle sells a lot of things as butter that aren't butter, and it does it with enough confidence that most people never question it. Clover, Flora, utterly butterly. I can't believe it's not butter, all ultra-processed, all in the same chiller, all benefiting from decades of marketing that blurred the line between real dairy and industrial fat blends. The rule is simple: turn the packet over, read the ingredients. If there's more than cream and salt, you're not buying butter. And if the block has got lighter since last year while the price hasn't, you're being shrinkflated. Knowing takes about 10 seconds. But most people spend more time choosing a yogurt than they do choosing what they spread on their toast every morning. Now, I want to hear from you. Did any of these surprise you? Still a Clover household? Or have you already made the switch? Drop it in the comments. I read every one. If this was useful, subscribe. Next week, we're doing the same, the supermarket cooking oils. The ones that are genuinely fine. The ones that shouldn't be heated at all. And the one that's been marketed as healthy for 30 years that the science no longer supports. See you then.